Uh, oh, okay, we are finalists. This is amazing, basically. Because holy fuck! Shut up! I forgot to mute the request. Okay, I guess at the very least I have audio. I didn't expect it to out of nowhere hit this on my phone. I guess yeah, I wasn't paying attention to that, and I didn't expect it to make sounds. And most of more than anything else. So yeah, it happened. Anyways, but aside from that, let us see. We well before anything else, as always, it is beautiful being here. It is a nice thing to finally find ourselves over this place, and I guess one of the few problems that we're kind of having right now is getting everything ready to do the reading a little bit. Because let me check. I yeah, the book is over here. Let me close up the stuff so that I can properly have everything working. Mahabharata, there it is. It should be there. There it is. We have the new book. We have. Uh, I want to check my hours just in case. Just in case. Give me a second. Just in the minimal probability of it not being as good as I want it to be, I want to hear it myself and to notice if everything is fine or not. Let's see. Hello. Twitch? Twitch? Hello? Twitch? Twitch! Yeah, what the fuck? He decided to not work. What? There it is. There it is. Yeah. It was fucking loud, anyways. It was very loud, but ah, amazing. Content creation, basically. Okay, I don't have water with me, so we are kind of having a problem because I will, as always, as it tends to happen, I will get my mouth dry, so I will need at some point to search for something to hydrate. I don't know when it will happen, but at the very least, it will happen. So yeah, aside from that, we are here, we have the book, we have to continue reading. That's all that matters. So yeah, let me see. We were, if I am not so lost, we were obviously over here, Canto 177, and the story was. What was the story? What is the story? What is the point of all of this? What did we left? What was it? Pandavas, Lokti, Brahmana, Kharva, Vasishta, Sambarana, Tapati. Yeah. Okay. They were being told some stories basically. This is another one of those parts where this. I'm going to get fucking angry if they do not shut up. But I think this is one of those parts where basically the Arjuna slash the Gurus ask a lot of questions, basically at the utmost level. That is the whole thing that is happening here. So yeah, also kind of obvious. My voice is still fucked up. I don't know if at this point if it is going to heal or not. I hope it heals because I would like to read properly without sounding like I am half dead, so yeah. But aside from that, here we are, Canto 177. Se trata Parva continua. Vaisampayana continua. Arjunas. Gandharva. Both Viswamitra and Vashista dwell in an early asramas. Tell us, who was their hostility between these two? The Gandharva says, Partha, the legend of Vasishta is thought of as being a Purana throughout the three realms. Listen and I will narrate it in full. Mahabharata. In Kanyakubja, there once was a king whose fame echoed throughout the world. He was Gadhi, the son of Kusika. Gadhi of Dharma had a son called Viswamitra, who became king after his father. Vishwamitra, bane of his enemies, lord of a great army, comprising countless men, beasts, and chariots, would range over the earth with his ministers through deep jungles in quest of deer and wild boar, killing them wherever he saw them. One day, while thus out hunting, the king was tired and thirsty, and he came upon the asrama of Vasishta. The Brahmarishi saw him and welcomed him with great respect, offering him padya, water to wash his face and feet, and aragya, wild fruit and ghee. The rishi had a cow of wishes, Nandini, who yielded anything that he asked of her. He would merely ask, and she would give him whatever he wanted. Fruit and grain she gave, wild, or as are grown by men in orchards and fields. She gave milk like Amrita, and every kind of unworldly delicacy to gratify the six tastes, by way of food and drink, ambrosial, and she gave incomparable ornaments, gemstones, and raiment also, not of this world. Arjuna, Maharishi Vasishtha made offerings of all these wonderful things to King Vishwamitra and his men, and they were delighted and amazed. The king gazed in wonder upon the wondrous cow, with six long legs, her flanks glossy, her eyes bulging and utterly beautiful, her udders and teeth full, high and perfect, her ears straight and erect, her horns beautiful, as also her head and her neck. Kshatriya, well pleased and praising the cow Nandini, got his son safe from the rishi, Mahamuni. I will give you 10,000 fine milch cows of my kingdom for your Nandini. Vashista replied, Sinless one, I give Nandini for the sake of the Devas, for honored guests like you, and for the beggars, as well as for my yagnas. I cannot give her to you and take your kingdom. Vishwamitra said, I am a Kshatriya, while you are a Brahmana, an ascetic devoted to the meditation and study. You are a man of peace, with your senses and your mind perfectly controlled. If you do not give me what I want when I offer you 10,000 cows in exchange for her, why I will even take your Nandini from you by force? For that is the way of the Kshatriya, and you can do nothing to stop me. Brahmana, uh, is this a threat or not? What? Why I will even take... wait. Okay. There is a kind of an error here. It should be, what is it called? A comma like, why? I will even take your Nandini from you by force. Not why I will. Yeah, right? Because the sentence itself tries to convey that Vishwamitra is going to steal the cow. But anyways, aside from that, everything fine. The sister smiled. You are indeed a mighty Kshatriya king. Why wait? Do what you will, but remember that you are not pausing to think of Dharma. Give me a second, because I am already feeling my throat there. So give me just a minute. Yeah. Partha, Vishwamitra had his men seize Nandini, white as the moon or a swan. They began to drag her away, injuring her smooth flanks, marking her with stripes of violence. Lowing piteously, Nandini broke free of her captors and ran to Vasishtha and stood before him with her face raised and tears flowing down her cheeks. She would not leave the sage's hermitage. Vasishtha saw her and said sadly, "Oh, Sushila, sweet one, you cry, my Nandini, and I hear you. But I am a Brahmana, sworn to forgiveness and peace. How can I prevent Vishwamitra from taking you from here forcibly?" Terrified by the threatening Vishwamitra and his fierce soldiers, Nandini came still closer to the rishi and said, "Oh, illustrious one, are you not my master? Do you not love me, that you can be so moved when Vishwamitra's cruel men beat me so savagely, marking me with their lashes, and when you hear me crying?" Still, the Vasishtha did not lose either his patience or turn away from his sworn vow of non-violence. He said, "The Kshatriya's strength lies in his might, the Brahmana's in his Shama. his forgiveness and patience. I cannot renounce my Shama. So Nandini, go with the king. Nandini sobbed. Do you then abandon me and cast me out, illustrious? For if you do not, O Brahmana, no one can take me from you, not with any force on earth. Vasista said, Bless, I do not cast you out or abandon you. If you can, stay. But look, they have your calf tied with a thick rope, and it is already weak by struggling against the noose around its neck. Hearing the word stay from Basista's lip, Nandini raised her head higher, tossed her horns, and suddenly she was terrible, her eyes crimson, lowing as if she roared deafeningly. She flew at Vishwamitra's men on every side, a dreadful storm of wrath. They ran and they struck her again and again, and her anger grew until she blazed with fury and was like the sun at high noon, her eyes turning redder by the moment. From her rear she sprayed a shower of burning coals over Vishwamitra's soldiers. Next moment she brought forth an army of Pashavas from her tail, and from her tits another of ferocious Dravidas and Sakas, and from her womb there issued a great force of Yavanas. She dropped dung, and from that there sprang up an Axauhine of Savaras, while from her unit a legion of Kanchis arose and another army of Savaras from her flanks. Paudaras, Kiratas, Yavanas, and Sinhalas, and the barbarian tribes of Khazas, Chibukas, Pulindas, Chinas, Hunas, Keralas, and numberless other Mlelechas sprang forth from the foam of her mouth. The teeming host of Mlelechas wore motley garb, carried diverse and strange weapons, and as soon as they materialized they were deployed in battle formation and attacked Viswamitra's legions with savage yells and roars. The king's men were outnumbered by 6 and 7 to 1. Assaulted by a storm of weapons, Viswamitra's men broke rank and fled, even as he watched in dismay. However, Bharatrishabha Nandini only chased away the enemy troops. Her Lenechas did not kill a single man. Indeed, the wild horde chased the king's men for a full 3 yohanas, and Vishwamitra's men fled shrieking, and no one could help them. Vishwamitra saw what happened, hung his head and raged. Oh, fie on the power of the Kshatriya! It is as nothing compared to the Brahmana Bala. The power of Tapasya is the only true strength. That king renounced his vast kingdom, all his regal glory, turned his back on every mundane pleasure, and sat in a sitting tapasya. After a long time and many trials, his dhyana grew so awesome that it began to burn the three worlds with its heat, scorching every creature in them. Brahma appeared before the Kshatriya at his penance and declared him to be a Brahmana, a Brahmarishi and the equal of Vasista. Finally, Kusika's son drank Somarasa with Indra himself in Swarga, the Gandharva says. Did he achieve what he wanted? Did he got the Nandini cow or not? No, right? I guess no, not. So, anyways, there it is. There we are. I guess I okay. I was trying to find something also while I blew my nose, and I think there is at the very minimum this part of let me search for it. It should be around. Let me see. It is around. Basista, here. Still, Basista did not lose either his patience or turn away from his sworn vow of non-violence. He said, the Kshatriya's strength lies in his mind, the Brahmana's in his Shama, his forgiveness and patience. I cannot renounce my Shama, so Nandini, go with the king. We are not so concerned about the Nandini and all of that, but rather this. Here. The Kshatriya's strength lies in his mind, the Brahmana's in his Shama, his forgiveness and patience. I cannot renounce my Shama. I think this part of here might might be interesting to analyze from the point of view of we yeah we kind of talk about it in other occasions as you do not really need to consider yourself as a trivia because nowadays we are almost never at war with one another, so it becomes kind of normal for everybody to see themselves rather as Brahmanas, and in that sense, if it is important something to point out is what should be the strength of somebody who does not need to have strength and might is the capacity of being forgiveful and have also as much patience as it is needed. Because, yeah, I will say, obviously, the whole point of this is always to not get angry and to not react to things that might otherwise be such a concern for everybody. So, yeah, I will say like that basically. The One of the few things that could be interpreted from this is it is better to become forgetful and have as much patience as it is possible because the gift that we have in ourselves and the capacity of doing so is better than to summoning strength and summoning might to fight against others, I would say. But at the same time, it is also obvious that Brahmana nowadays doesn't exist as they did before, if they are real, if they were real. Because before, if a Brahmana decided, you know what, you did me bad, and because of that same reason, I will curse you. If a Brahmana curses you, you are condemned to fulfill whatever curse they throw upon you. So yeah, no real similarity in that sense to a Brahmana. It is more like a coincidence that happened, not a real thing. But well, let me see. Canto 178. Se trata barba continua. By Sampayana continua. The Ganjava continues. Holy fuck. Partha, once there was a king called Kalmashabada of the race of Ikshabaku, and he had no equal for strength or power on earth. One day he went hunting in the forest and killed many deer and boar with his arrows in open glades in the heart of the jungle. He killed many a great rhinoceros. Finally, tiring after a long hunt, the king decided that he would rest for a while. Some time ago, the great Vishwamitra, of tremendous splendor, had wanted to make this king his disciple. Now, as Kalmashapada went weakly along a trail through Tatpana, hungry and thirsty too, he encountered Vasishta's lustrous son, Saktri, his firstborn of 100 sons. Upon that path, wait, because I am already once again dying on my throat. So, well, I don't know. I think it is only getting worse. So, yeah, I will probably not try to clear my throat anymore. I think I will only destroy it more than what it is already destroyed. So, yeah, let us continue. The invincible king saw the Muni coming towards him and cried hotly, "Get out of my way!" The rishi replied gently, in the sweetest tone, "Rahan, by Dharma the right of way is mine. Every Shastra says that a Kshatriya must always make way for a Brahmana." But Kalmashabada cried again, "Out of my way!" Vasishtha's son replied in the same words, but softly. The rishi was in the right, and so he would not give in. The king would not yield out of pride and anger. Suddenly, Kalmashabada lost control and, growling like a Rakshasa, lashed out at the sage with his whip. At the lash, Saktari also lost his temper and lashed out at the king with a curse. "Basest of king, dare you strike a Brahmana? You have behaved like a Rakshasa. So become a Rakshasa from this moment and wander the earth in a demon's form, living on human flesh." At this moment, Vishwamitra arrived in that place. There was dispute between Vasistha and him about whose Shishya Kalmashabada would be. Partha, Vishwamitra knew with mystic insight that Vasista's son had cursed the king. He knew that Saktari was his father's equal in spiritual power. Vishwamitra made himself invisible. As soon as the sage cursed him, the king began to beg Saktari for mercy. Kurustama, Vishwamitra feared that the two might make peace between them, and he sent a Rakshasa to enter Kalmashabada's body. The Rakshasa Kinkara possessed the king. At Saktari's Muni's course and Vishwamitra commands, Vishwamitra melted away from the forest path. Saktari also left. Upon being possessed, Kalmashabada was no longer himself, and another Brahmana came upon him in that condition. This Brahmana was tired and hungry and begged the king for some food, cooked with meat. The Rajarishi Kalmashabada, known for his generosity and kindness, said, Brahmana, stay here for a while. I will go and bring you the food that you want. Leaving the Brahmana in Devana, Kalmashabada returned to his palace and his royal chambers, but only after he had roamed the forest for some hours. There himself, he fell asleep. At midnight, he suddenly awoke and remembered his promise to the Brahmana. He summoned the palace cook, said the king. A Brahmana is waiting for me in the forest. He is hungry and wants some meat to eat. Hurry, cook some meat and take it to him. The cook went looking for meat, but could find none at that hour. He went back to the king and said with some trepidation that he had not been able to find any meat. Now it was the Rakshasa Kinkara who spoke from the king's mouth. Feed him human flesh. Trembling, the cook said, that has to. So be it. He went to the king's execution chamber, cut some flesh from a corpse there, wasted it, cooked it, covered it with fragrant rice, and ran to the waiting Brahmana with that meal. But the Brahmana, who had a cold sight, immediately saw that the food was unclean. His eyes turning red, he cried, "This worst of kings sends me unholy food, so let him crave human flesh himself. Let the Rishi Saktri's curse come true, and let Kalmashapada wander the earth as a fiend." When the curse was repeated, it became twice as powerful. The Rakshasa within him gained complete control. A while later, Kalmashabada saw Satri again, who had first cursed him and screamed, "You first cursed me to become a cannibal, so let me begin by eating you." He pounced on Saktrimuni and devoured him like a tiger does its prey. Seeing Saktri killed, Vishwamitra began to repeatedly instigate Kinkara to eat Vasista's other sons as well. Like an angry lion swallowing small animals, the Rakshasa quickly killed and ate all of Vasista's 100 sons. Vasista knew that Vishwamitra was responsible for the death of his sons, but he did nothing, only bore his grief as the great mountain does the earth. He would rather sacrifice his own life than yield to anger and commit any violence against the race of Kusikas. That illumined sage threw himself down from the summit of Meru, but he fell on hard rock, thousands of feet below, as if onto a bed of cotton wool. Pandava, when he did not die from his sleep, Vasista lit a forest fire, a blazing conflagration, with his power of yoga and walked into it, but the flames did not even singe him, but were like cool water upon his skin. Next, the grief-stricken sage looked at the sea, tied a heavy stone around his neck, and flung himself into the water, but the waves washed away was him gently ashore, distraught he could not even do away with himself. The sister returned to his asarama, says the Gandharva. So far, kind of a comedy that he can't commit, what is it, self-determination. I think it was the permitted term. Now, let us continue a little bit. There it is. My voice is back. Let's fucking go. No more sore throat. Amazing. It will last probably like 2 or 3 minutes, but meanwhile, let's take full advantage of this. Now there it is. Fuck. Canto 179. Chaitrarata Parva continue. Vaisampayana continue. The Gandharva goes on. The Rishi saw his hermitage empty of his sons, and again the tide of sorrow surged in his heart. He walked away from the asrama, Partha, Vasista arranged over the earth, dementedly, and one day, during the monsoon, he saw a river in spate, sweeping away hundreds of trees and plants that grew on its bank. O Grunandana! The Muni bound his own hands and feet firmly with strong rope and cast himself into that cataract. Parantapa, the river loosened the knots of the rope and tenderly set him ashore. Rising, Vasista called that river Vipasa, the knot severer. Restless with the sorrow which tore at his heart, Vasista could never remain in one place. With no peace, he wandered along the banks of many lakes and rivers, through many deep forests, and climbed more than one mountain. One day, he came to the banks of the river that is called Himavati, she who flows from Himavan. He saw huge and ferocious crocodiles and other sharp-toothed predators in the water, and once more threw himself into the river, hoping to be devoured. However, the river mistook the has-been Brahmana for a mass of fire, and in terror split herself into 100 rivets and plunged away in every direction. Since she has been called Shatadru, river of 100 courses. Basista found himself on dry land again and cried, "Ah, it is impossible for me to kill myself!" And he turned his face toward his asrama again, back through many kingdoms, over mountains and through the forests of several countries. The sage returned to his hermitage. Unknown to the Muni, a daughter-in-law of his, Adrishyanti, had been following him all the time, hiding herself so that he never saw her. Now, as he neared his asrama, suddenly he heard from behind his back the Veda being recited in the most chaste and erudite tones, embellished with the 6 graces of elocution. Turning, Vasista asked, "Who follows me?" His daughter-in-law said, "It is Saktri's wife, Adrishyanti." "Lord, I am chaste and ascetic, yet I find myself lost and without support." Vasista asked, "Daughter, who was just reciting the Veda and the Angas exactly in the voice and tone of my son Saktri?" Adrishyanti said, "Saktri's son is in my womb. He has been there for 12 years, and it is his voice that you heard reciting the Veda." Vasista gave a cry of sheer joy. "A child of my race lives!" No, Partha, every thought of killing himself left the sage, and he brought his pregnant daughter-in-law into his hermitage. Then, one day, O Mahabharata, when Vasista was out walking in the vana with Adrishyanti, he saw the king Kalmashapada, whom the Rakshasa Kinkara had possessed. The Rakshasa roared in rage and rushed towards the Muni to make a meal of him. Adrishyanti cried in terror, "Oh, illustrious, look! The Soviet Rakshasa rushes at us with his cruel rage. He comes to devour us, Holy One, and no one in the world can save us today but you." Vasista said calmly, "There is nothing to fear, my child. This is no Rakshasa, but the great and renowned king Kalmashapada, who now lives in this forest." The king, possessed by the Rakshasa, ran on towards them, and then Vasista stopped him in his tracks by uttering a resonant humakara, a rhyming hum. The Muni then sprinkled holy water sanctified with mantras over the king and exorcised him of the Rakshasa. After 12 years of being possessed by Saktri's curse, even like the sun being seized by Rahu during an eclipse, Kalmashapada was free. Now his natural luster lit up all that wild Vana as the sun's rays do the clouds of dusk. Regaining his mind and his senses, the king folded his hands reverently to the rishi and said, "Munishrama, I am Sudasa's son, and I am your Shishya. Command me, Lord, I will do whatever you ask. Give you whatever you want." Vasista replied, "I already have what I want. Go back to your kingdom now and rule your people." And Purushottama never insult a Brahmana again. Kalmashapada said, "Never, my lord, shall I cross any Brahmana, but worship them instead. However, Brahmana Shestra, greatest among all that know the Veda, let me be free from the debt I owe the race of Ikshvaku." I beg you bless me with a worthy and splendid sons, a prince of Dharma to become king after me. Vasista answered that great archer and king, I will. Vasista went with Kalmashapada to his capital, famed throughout the world, the city of Ayodhya. The people came out in crowds, in joy to welcome back their king. They were like the celestials of Swarga coming to receive Indra. With Vasista going before him, Kalmashapada entered his capital after 12 years in the wilderness. The people gazed at him as if he was the rising sun, for so radiant was he and so handsome. His splendor filled Ayodhya, even as the glory of the autumn sun does all the sky. Kalmashapada looked at his city, its streets swept and washed and bright with banners and arches, and he too was full of joy. O Prince of Kuru's race, yes, truly, Ayodhya seemed wonderful as Amaravati does when Devendra is in his heavenly city. When the Maharishi entered his palace, he ordered his queen to go to Vasista. The Maharishi swore a solemn vow with her, and then he had congress with her. Shortly, she conceived, and having accomplished what he had come for, and receiving Kalmashapada's reverences, the sage returned to his asrama. For a long time, 12 years, the king carried her child within her. When she could not bear to wait any longer, she cut her belly open with a sharp stone and brought forth the Purusharashapka Asmaka, the Rahanishi who one day found the city of Paudanya. Says the Gandharva. Very fine then. I guess. Yeah. Obviously the lesson here is, as it was being said before, uh, to pardon and kind of to accept things and to not be resentful of whatever happened before. Obviously, always the problem is perfect. This message is that how does one apply it and how one does not find on them the desire to get angry at such things. That is a completely different matter, I think. But at the same time, it is at the very least interesting to see it like that and to analyze the possibility of not being full of such a problem, let's say. But well, let me drink some water because I am already once again with my throat there. So let me drink some water. There it is. Canto 180. Chaitrarata Parva continues. Vaisampayana said, the Gandharva continues. In Vasishtha's Rama, O Partha, when her time came, Adrisyanti gave birth to a son who was virtually like another Sakti in every way. Ah, verily, Eremau, sorry. Then let me go again. Adrisyanti gave birth to a son who was verily like another Sakti in every way. Best of the Maharatas, Maharishi Vasista performed the sacred ceremonies for his grandson because that child was responsible for Vasista abandoning his resolve in his own life. He was named Parasara, he who gives life to the dead. From the day he was born, Parasara regarded Vasista as his father and treated him as such. One day, O son of Kunti, the child called Vasista father, while Adrisyanti was present. His mother's eyes filled on hearing his sweet voice say that word. Adrisyanti said tearfully to her son, my child, do not call your grandfather father. My son, a Rakshasa ate your father in another forest. This Holy One is your great father's father. Hearing this, Parasara flared up in terrible grief and wrath, and cried that he would burn up all of creation. Then Vasista Muni, son of Mitravaruna, greatest among the knowers of Brahman, forbade his grandson with these arguments. Listen, O Arjuna, to what Vasista Muni said to Parasara to change his mind. Oh, let's go! Finally, some things worth pondering. Let me blow my nose before this, and we can properly We're back. Okay, okay. Let me see. Here, said the sage. Once there was a renowned king called Kitravirya, and that Rahareshabha of the earth was a Sisya of the vigorous, who knew the Veda. After Kritavirya performed the Somayagna, he gave immense wealth, grain past calculation, and other incomparable gifts to those Brahmanas. Later, when Kritavirya left this world and rose into Swarga, there came a time when his descendants became impecunious. Knowing that the Brigus were wealthy, the princess went to those best among Brahmanas, even as beggars. Some Brigus buried their vast treasures under the ground, others gave it away to fellow Brahmanas, for they feared the Kshatriyas, while still others did give the Kshatriyas whatever they wanted. Some Kshatriyas dug the earth all around the house of one of the Bhargavas and uncovered a great and rich hoard. All the Kshatriya Rishabhas saw that buried treasure, and they grew furious because of what they thought of as being deceit and treachery by the Brigons. They seized their bows and slaughtered the Brahmanas in a hail of arrows, even while the Bhargavas begged for mercy. Why? Those wrathful Kshatriyas wandered the earth, killing even unborn fetuses in the wombs of Brigu women. As they swept across the world, exterminating the very race of Brigu, many Brigu women fled to hidden fastnesses. Uh, no, I, I think I haven't got a cold. I, it is more like I lack some sleep in my case, so I have a tiny amount of boogers. Not that much of a cold. It is simply that I lack sleep, proper rest, let's say. So yeah, and well, my voice, no, my voice, I think it is slowly dying because I think almost in my whole life I haven't talked as much as I have been doing this past, I think, 3 months or something like that already. So yeah, that's why I am having problems with my voice. It is I am fine with my health. I am not sick so far. It is only a tiny accumulation of different symptoms. But everything aside from that is fine. Don't worry. Thank you, Ainsley, for your worries. But we're fine. And also, welcome, sorry, welcome. Now, continuing, some Kshatriyas that appeared all around the house of one of the Bhargavas. No, I already read that. Here. In a hail of arrows, even while the Bhargavas begged for mercy. Why? Those wrathful Kshatriyas wandered the earth, killing even unborn fetuses in the wombs of Brigu women, as they swept across the world, exterminating the very race of Brigu. Many Brigu women fled to hidden fastnesses of the Himalaya. Among those women was one who bore an embryo of terrific Texas in her thigh. However, another Brahmana woman, from fear, told the Kshatriyas about her. The Kshatriyas swarmed to the cave where she was, going forth to kill her unborn child, and her as well. Arriving at the cave mouth, the princess saw the woman ablaze with the splendor of her child. At that moment, the child came tearing its way out from her thigh. He was as refulgent as the noonday sun, and his light made the Kshatriyas blind. Sightless, they wandered, lost over those mountains for a long time. At last, the stricken princess decided they must beg the sinless Brigu woman to help them. Like a fire that has burned out, they came in great softness and anxiety to her. They say to her, "Be gracious to us, O lady, and let us see again. We will go back peacefully and never again sin. Most beautiful one, we kings and princes beg mercy from you and your child." Said Vasista Muni to his grandson, the Gandharva says. So far, what is the point? Canto 181, Chaitrarata Parva continued. Vaisampayana continued. The Gandharva says, Vasista went on. What? What? This is getting more and more complicated. Vasista went on. The Brigu woman said to the Kshatriyas, Young ones, I have not taken your sight from you, and I am not wroth at you either. However, this Brigo child is indeed wrathful at the massacre of his race. Princess, for 100 years, you could even the embryos into wombs of the Brigo woman, and for those 100 years, this child remained inside of me. The Vedas and their Angas came to my child even while he lay in my womb, so that one day fortune will return to the race of Brigu. He wishes you ill, Sacrias, and it is his cosmic splendor that has made you blind. You have murdered his sires, and he wishes for your death. Do not beg me, but this child for your side. Pay him homage and appease his fury. Children, it is the only hope for you. The Kshatriyas turned to the tide-born child. Forgive us, we seek your mercy. At once, the marvelous child turned merciful. The Kshatriyas had their sight back and returned to their homes. Because he was born from his mother's tide, that splendid child is known as Aurva, tide-born, throughout the three worlds. His wrath unappeased, Muni Aurva of the race of Vrigu decided that he would destroy the whole world and every creature in it. He will give this as Hades, a burnt offering to his murdered ancestors. Aurva sat in terrible tapasya, and soon the heat of his penance began to scorch the Devas, the Asuras, and Manavas too. Then the beaters, his men, learned that what the child of the race intended, and they came down to him from their lofty realm. The Brigus said, Child, Aurva, your tapasya has been stern and fierce, and we have seen your power, but turn kindly towards the three wars, restrain your anger. Son, we, Brigus, did not allow ourselves to be killed by the Kshatriyas because we could not defend ourselves. The truth is that we grew weary of the interminably long lives given to us, and we wanted to die. Indeed, we subtly used the Kshatriyas to accomplish our own end. We buried the treasure beneath one of our houses, even so that the princess will discover it and become infuriated. Divihotama, when we wished for Swarga, of what use could gold and jewels be to us? Kubera, Lord of Treasures, kept a great trove for us in Devaloka, but we found we will not die. It is then that we decided to not have the Kshatriyas kill us. For For we could not kill ourselves, either, since no suicide ever attains the realms that are blessed. The Kshatriyas only help us achieve what we wanted, and we are not pleased at what you now mean to do. It is a great sin that you intend to consume all of creation in the flames of your tapasya. Precious child, don't kill the Kshatriyas or burn the seven words. Instead, quell your anger, which renders your penance simple, says his Peters to Orba. Vasista, say to Parasara, even Harva tells Arjuna. Ah, yeah, I guess it is kind of hard to really extract anything in particular, like for everybody, when it is really specific to somebody who is, let's say, so deep in anger. I guess, yeah, kind of. If the message is, if you find yourself feeling like the only response is to destroy everything, you should think about the consequences of your actions instead of simply thinking about the pleasure that it will bring to you in the moment in which you decide to enact justice, let's say, because it will in reality accomplish something, but also it will make a lot of other things worse, and it never should be the objective of anybody to destroy every single thing in existence, as it brings the greatest of the pains, that is, to let all that is end, when in reality, almost also as it is explained here, the world itself is a beautiful place, and not only, even more in the Mahabharata, not only this world, but the three other worlds are more than beautiful to be destroyed. So yes, it makes no sense to let anger consume oneself, let's say. So let me drink some more water because I want to keep my throat alive. There it is. Canto 182. Tetrarca parva continued. Byzantine said, the Anticharva continues. Basista went on. Aurva heard what his men said and spoke to them. Aurva Muni said, "O my Peters, how can the vow I swore, even in anger, to consume the words go in vain? I cannot become one whose anger is impotent and his oath fall hollow. For if I cease my penance, my fury will devour me as fire does dry wood. The man who represses rightful anger, provoked by great injustice, becomes incapable of accomplishing the Purusharthas of Dharma, Artha and Kama. The rage that kings use to conquer and rule the earth is not a trifling thing. It keeps the evil in fearful restraint and protects good men of Dharma. Whilst I lay in my mother's side, I heard the screams of the brave woman whom the Kshatriyas were slaughtering. Oh, Peters, when the savage Kshatriyas began to murder the unborn children of our race, untold wrath filled my soul. My mother or other woman, all heavy with child, and my terror-stricken father could not find anyone in the wide world to protect them. In panic, my mother lowered me into her thigh and held me there, so that her pregnancy would be hidden. If there is justice and punishment for crimes in the world, then sinners hesitate to sin. If there is no justice, sir, the numbers of criminals grow and their crimes become more terrible. The man who owns the power to punish and prevent crime but not do so becomes a criminal and sinner himself. He shares in the sins of the sinners. When the kings that could have saved my sires from the fury of the Kshatriyas did not do so, but remain immersed in their pleasures instead, I have more than just cause to turn my fury upon them. I have the power to punish those criminals. I wield absolute power over the worlds. I cannot do what you ask. I must have revenge on the sinners, for otherwise they will again commit heinous murdering. Besides, if I do not murder them with the fire of my wrath, it will consume me instead. Ah, my sires, I know that all of you unswervingly wish for the weal of the worlds. Tell me what I should do so that it benefits both creation and me. The Peter says, "Cast the fire of your rage, which will consume the worlds, into water, and in water let it dwell, consuming water, that will benefit you and the worlds as well. For it is said that the worlds are made of water. Why, the very universe has emerged from primal waters. Brahmana, let the fire of your fury live in the ocean, so that, sinless child, your vow is not proven false, so that you are not harmed by the fire, and neither the three worlds, or the Devas, Asuras, and Manavas." The child Aurva cast the fire of his anger into the realm of Varuna, the ocean. It lives there still, consuming the waters of the deeps, and there it has assumed the form of a great horse hare, so that those that know the Veda call it Badava, Badava, what the fuck? Badava, Badavamakur. No, no, sorry. It, it lives there still, consuming the waters of the deeps, and there it has assumed the form of a great horse head, so that those that know the Veda call it Badavamukha. It flames forth from its own mouth, and ceaselessly quenches itself with the waters of the fathomless ocean. You, precious Parasara, wisest Muni, are like Arva, a blessed one. You know the lofty realms of Swarga. It does not become you to destroy the worlds in anger, said Vasista to his grandson. Says Gandharva to Arjuna. Um, yeah, I guess I will say the point is one should have the desire to solve things, but the desire should not become so big as to blind oneself from real justice and to end up destroying everything else while trying to achieve, let's say, revenge or balance once again on the world. Even more because, in a sense, uh, I saw it like this when I was reading. It is understandable to try and punish the gods themselves even when you think that they could have also done something for the sake of your own race, let's say. But at the same time, it does not become of one to really try and blame everyone else, but rather just our own incapacity of solving these particular problems. Therefore, as it was proven in this case by his beaters, let's say by his ancestors, the more logical thing was to not let also the rage kill you, but to simply transform it into something far more useful than what it was at that point. So yeah, um, I think so far very interesting. So far, let me see. Let me. I some more water. Yeah, I have a little bit more water. Let me drink some water, and I will continue after that. Okay, I have no more water, so after this I will have to finish probably one or two more cantos, and we are going to be done so far for this session. Canto 180. Canto 183. Chaitrarata Parva continued. By Sampayana said, the Gandharva continues. When his illumined grandfather Vasista spoke thus gravely to him, Parasara controlled his anger and refrained from destroying the walls. However, the Tehaswin Rishi of terrific energy, the son of Saktri, performed a great Rakshasa Yagna, and to avenge the killing of his father Saktri, he consumed Rakshasas, young and old, in the fires of his sacrifice. Now Vasista did not attempt to restrain his grandson, because he did not want to force him to break a second vow. Mahamuni Parasara sat before three blazing fires, himself like a fourth one. Sacri's son, bright as Surya. Yeah, I am. Hello? Hello? Are we back? Is everything fine? Do we have connection once again? Hello? Yes? What the hell happened, my brother? Why did out of nowhere my internet decide to die? What was the problem? What the fuck? Anyways, yeah, sadly, I completely lost what it is that I was. So, mm, I guess kind of sadly, I will have to probably end it here after finishing this one. Because if the internet is not going to function properly, I cannot do anything about it. So, Basista and the other races of the world saw Parasara blaze, truly like a second sun, and it seemed no one could stop his yagna. The compassionate Maharishi Atri came to Parasara's Yagnashala, Parantapa. With him came the Devarishis, Pulustya, Puluha, and Karatu, all to save the Rakshasas. Bharatrishabha. When Pulastya Muni saw how many Rakshasas had already been killed, he said to Parasara aflame, Child, I hope nothing hinders your yagna. But what joy do you find in killing even those Rakshasas that have nothing to do with the death of your father? This is not the dharma of a holy Brahmana. It does not become you to take innocent lives. Peace is the highest punya. Parasara, make your peace, for you are a superior man, and I wonder that you commit this dreadful sin. How can you do this? Who are the son of Saktri? Who was a man of unswerving dharma, a man of peace? How do you kill any living creature at all? Scion of the race of Vasishta, your father died because he broke dharma in anger and cursed Kalmashabala. Saktri was taken to Swarga for his own fault. Parasara, no Rakshasa on earth will kill the great Saktri unless the Muni contrived his own death. Even Wiswamitra was merely a tool in the hands of fate. Besides, note that both your father Sakti and Kilkalmashapada have indeed found Swarga and enjoy every felicity there. Your father's brothers, Vasista's other sons, are in heaven also, and finding untold joy in the company of the celestials. Why, even you, Parasara, son of Sakti, son of Vasista, are only a blind instrument of fate in this yagna of yours, which destroys countless Rakshasas. Oh, be blessed, Parasara, and abandon your Rakshasa yagna. You have done enough killing. Now, Vasista added his voice to what Pulastya Muni said, and Parasara sees his fell sacrifice. He cast the fires that he had lit into the deepest vana north of the Himavad. To this day, that fire burns all years, even in the dead of winter, even when rain lashed the mountain, devouring trees and the very stones around it, and also any Rakshasas that come anywhere near its flames. They don't have a size. And yeah, as I said, I think we have to finish because I have been checking, and it seems, yeah, I started out of nowhere to have internet problems. This is beautiful. This is the real beauty of all of this. To have as many problems as it is possible instead of enjoy the experience of living. So yeah, let me see. Let me close this. We left close to start with the very nice. Very nice. I think we did like four or something like that, right? So yeah, it was a great read. But at the same time, we cannot continue anymore. Because, yes, sadly things decided to go, well, kind of at the last minute. And, well, yeah, it was, as always, a pleasure to be here. It was a good thing to read. It was a beautiful event to be present. And well, I guess we'll have to take a break. We'll need to rest a little bit. Even more, I think, yeah, probably we'll end up scheduling like a rest or something because my throat is really bad. I don't know why. So yeah, I will see how I do that on my end. But now, it will be time to leave. Thanks for everything. Thanks for looking. Thanks for watching the world. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for paying attention. Thanks for your time. And when the next opportunity arises, we'll be once again here. And until then, remember to take rest, remember to take care, and now I can only say thanks for all and goodbye.